Good evening, folks. This is May 13th, and a quick update on things. Today was a rainy, cloudy, overcast day. There are only 2 plugs and a nightlight now connected to the Jackery. We are not whole house supplied. And the third cord, which was going to the freezer and some other devices, has been pulled. And the reason for that is today, like I said, it was a cloudy, rainy day. These units were struggling to pull in a whole lot. The large solar panels did the best that they could and did raise it from earlier when it was about 29%. We got up to about 50% each, and that's sufficient to run the office and the aquarium, but not much after that. I don't trust waking up tomorrow to a puddle where the freezer didn't get enough juice, and so that's why it was pulled. So that's that update. The other update happens to be regarding the solar panel. I got a call this morning from a delivery company that delivers solar panels first thing this morning, and he asked what is best for delivery, and I said, well, I work for remotely, so I'm always going to be here, whatever fits your schedule. And he said that the possibilities are Thursday, May 14th, or sometime next week. And I said politely, whatever fits your schedule, I will comply with that. And he said, I really thank you for your flexibility with this. Let me check what's best with the driver, and we'll see what we can do. All day went by, and I finally got a call back, and recognizing the number, I picked up right away, and he said, well, it looks like what we're going to do is deliver it on Thursday, the May 14th. It should be there by noon. So tomorrow by noon, I am hoping to see the 10th panel. That's a replacement panel, by the way, for those that didn't follow all the videos. The 10th panel was shattered from underneath, and US Solar said they understand, and they'll send out as quickly as possible a replacement with that. They said it would be either Friday last week they would start the shipment, or early this week. Well, they gave me a call before noon on Wednesday. That's technically the beginning as opposed to the end. Of course, if you count the middle, then it doesn't count. But just being funny, all right? Okay, so that's the update with excuse me, US Solar. Yes, today was a rainy day, but I did not get up in the attic to add any more tinfoil. That's the third update that I want to give you. There's radiant foil that's supposed to, if you put it up right in the attic area, is supposed to concentrate the heat and the coldness between it and the roof itself, letting the attic then reduce or not be as cold in the winter, of course, but reduce the heat during summer. And that's what I'm after. I'm not after the savings, even though that's a nice sideline benefit, but I am after it is so suffocating, and the units that try to cool the house just run and run and run. And so I decided that I was going to do a unscientific feel to say, yes, this works, and no, it doesn't, for those that are saying, I wonder if that really does work. Well, and that's why I'm testing that. And let's go over here to the unscientific way that I'm going to test it. I didn't want to get a expensive unit to test the amount of heat inside the foil as opposed to outside. And so I came up overnight with the least expensive, because it's only a one-time thing, least expensive, but yet scientific, yes or no, does this work solution. I had my wife, since today was grocery day, pick up two inexpensive thermometers from Walmart. They were less than $4 a piece. We're going to slide one of these in between, once the foil's all up, by the way. You can't do it now. That's not going to work matters, but I'm ready for when it is all up, that I'm going to slide one of these down, because you're supposed to leave a gap at the top and the bottom. So we'll slide it from the top down as far as it'll go on its own without tearing anything. And we'll slide one of these down in between the foil and the roof shingles, underneath of course, and leave one hanging in a decent location inside the attic. And after a significant period of time, not just 5 minutes, we'll let a few hours go by, then I'll yank the one that I slid down the foil and compare to see just what the difference will be. Now I'm going to wait for a warmer day as well. No use of testing it out on a rainy day or so, but we're supposed to get into the 90s pretty soon. It is the middle of May. Usually we hit a nice 6 or 7 week heat wave, and that's why I wanted that foil up as soon as possible. But that's my rainy day project. The other projects, like the greenhouse that I showed you, I guess it was yesterday or the other day, that gets attention, as well as trying to take this journey on the solar panels. Now, the other thing that I want to update on as well is my experience last night, and I felt very disappointed. I should have known better type deal. And I announced yesterday about the sub panel, and that there was this panel off the main panel known as the sub panel, and whatever listed in there is what gets the juice when we go full Jackery onto the house. So much for a whole house test, because there's a lot of things, including the hot water heater, that's not inside the sub panel. Now, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just an additional panel, and that's where the embarrassment comes in at least yesterday. And then I realized, oh, wait a second. We have other panels very similar on this property that are not considered sub panels, or nothing would be operating. And I don't know how they construct this house. It's not a mansion, but we have more than one panel, and those other panels that are not part of the main, and if you hear snoring, by the way, that's Duchess, our dog. There you go. There they are. Okay, so back to this. Back to the panels, and that is, since the other panels are not considered sub panels but extensions to the main panel, that's what I thought the sub panel happened to be, because the main panel, the previous owner did not label anything at all. I'll just say that. A couple items on the main panel and then a whole lot of detail on the sub panel. I just thought that's what it was, is that it was an extension, but no, it's not. It is truly a sub panel. So then I got concerned, because I bought this unit called an STS. This is for standby, that once the whole house loses electricity, this in 0.2 milliseconds, I think they say, is supposed to switch over to the Jackery units, multiple units. There's 2 plugs on the bottom, so 2 units with 5 backup batteries each. Is supposed to keep the house running if it was never to be charged again, meaning no sunlight for a whole week. It would survive as far as the house is concerned. Can I use this, which is technically a sub panel, while there's already a sub panel? So I did some research last night, because again, my heart sunk, knowing full well that that's $1,000 sitting there. Of course, I got it at a discount, buying all the pieces together. And one of these days, I'll show you exactly what I paid for everything. But for now, let's just give you the update on things. The answer is yes, it can be connected. Now, I have a different concern, because they recommend that the unit be connected 2 feet, within 2 feet of the main panel. And what I have is way over there. Yes, that's a backup water supply. Way over there, the units. And I don't want to be running some wire all the way across the ceiling here. So I really want to go the other direction and then up through the ceiling to reach into this closet, which is our utility closet. Now, if that's not going to be, which measures out to be 50 feet, and I did Google that, and they say, yes, but not highly recommend it. You'll have to talk to your electrician about that. Our other option then, inside the office, where I have some apple trees trying to grow, beyond this wall here is the utility closet, and I might have to line up the units, the Jackery units, inside here, and that's going to make things tight. I'm already in a closet. This office is not very large, but that's what we may have to do, is line them up in such a way that the panel, the sub panel, will actually be on this wall, going through the wall into the utility room. So those are all my updates. A lot of things going on, and as they unfold, I will let you know, because like I said originally, this is a journey, and hopefully for those that are considering any of these things, it's a help. And are there other options? Absolutely, and I'll get to those as well eventually, because there's a lot to talk about, but enough's enough for tonight. All right, take care, have a good night, and good evening.